Oh, man. God. Where is Cullen? Mic check, mic check. We're ready. I mean, I'm ready. Where the heck is Cullen? I can't find him, so I guess, I'm just going to do this whole podcast by myself. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Calm down. Come back. All right. I'm going to call Cullen and figure out where the heck he is right now. Let's see. Cullen.
What's up?
Where are you right now? We have a podcast to do. Cullen, I don't have all day. You said be here. I'm here. Where are you?
I'm etch-a-sketching.
Etch-a-sketching? Where?
I can tell you. I'll be there in a minute.
All right, come on. Bye. Well, he said he'd be here in a minute. Let's see. Oh, Cullen! There you are! What's up?
Where's the applause?
Finally!
Where's the applause?
Finally!
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. What
Thank
is
you.
up,
Thank you for
guys?
joining us here at the Don't Tell Mom podcast.
How is everybody doing? That's recording up there, yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
the
yeah, we're good.
The video's live. I'm just getting all my ducks checked.
Number 3, numero trece.
Yes, I can't
Something
believe
like
it. Let us know again in the comments how the audio is. Jared actually FaceTimed me this time and gave me little pointers. Oh, shoot. And you know what? I don't even think I have the one
On.
on.
You're a dummy.
Oh, my God. Let me cut this up. What?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast Don't Tell Mom number 3.
The podcast for anything and everything.
Everything
happens.
goes. Anything goes. We don't care.
Yeah, so I was in the new studio that we've kind of almost finished. It's good.
I'm over here trying to do work. Colin's over there playing Nintendo and eating Cheetos in his little couch on his Goonies posters.
I had to test it out and make sure everything was good.
Hey, man, that was pretty cool, though. I like that little setup that we did. I think that it'll be great for our guests. That's what we've been working on, y'all, this morning. For those of y'all that aren't watching and that are just listening, what's going on is that we are obviously we're vlogging all of these podcasts along with doing the podcast. We're videotaping it. So we wanted our set to be like cool, relaxed, chill, very don't tell mom-ish, from our little era growing up. So we've set up a little room for our guests when we have people on, like when we have mom come or when we have Katie on or my hubs or anybody that we have. We got a little space set up for them to chill and relax and tell us all their good, juicy don't tell mom stories.
In the basement.
In the basement.
It's kind of like that. There's one podcast called Mom's Basement. We're literally in our basement at this house. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're in the basement. That's where all the don't tell mom stuff happens anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes. And if you're also watching, we have tans now. We just got back from the beach. So
yes, both of us have tans. I was not at the beach with Cullen. I was not invited to that party, but it's okay because I went to the swimming pool and to the beach myself.
That is fun.
We got our tan on. I got some blonde highlights.
We look like
we're summer ready right
out
now.
of the summer.
I love it. So, guys, we're really excited about today's topic. Kind of nervous because it's probably controversial,
Always.
But
it's 2018. We could talk about like this sound machine, and people would
probably listen. No. Today we're talking. We kind of set it up last time. We had talked about whoopings, spankings, punishment. What is the deal? What did you have to go through when you got in trouble?
There were a lot of comments on the last video about this.
Yeah, there was.
It was crazy.
And it's crazy how many people actually got whooped.
I know. And we're cool with it. Like, I was like, dang, this is going to bring a lot of hate, But, like, that's what the internet is about. Like, bringing up topics that are opinionated and that kind of thing. That's why we're
Everybody's got to say so on. Everybody's got an opinion, okay? We want to hear them. So.
Well, I mean, we're still alive, if that gives you any...
Yeah. And I think that we would have probably turned out worse if we weren't spanked.
Oh, totally.
I mean, there's just some things when you run out in the street and you get a whooping, then you're not going to run out in the street anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to associate running out in the street with whooping.
Yes.
And, it's not always whooping.
I wish I even had the props upstairs in the closet. I was like... The belt, like the clapping.
Oh gosh, yes, that was terrifying.
Like,
are you kidding?
What did you do wrong today while I was at work? whoosh,
And,
just snapping it.
I'm not a parent yet, want to be, but Cullen, just a little backstory for both of us. I am recently married. I have a dog named Booger. My name's Brittany. I'm 32. Grew up down here in Alabama, traveled the world, all that good stuff, and now I'm back home. Trying to start a family and all that. Cullen.
No, the card is already full. This is crazy. This is what I wanted to check.
Oh, Cullen. All right.
Get your new SD card out of your camera here.
Yeah, here we go.
You're going on a photo shoot.
See, this is the problem with vlogging and potting at the same time, is that these things happen, y'all. This is real life. So anyway, while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and set you up for today's topic, which, like I said, is about whoopings. But there's other kind of punishment. I mean, there's a lot of other kind of punishment. And our parents got real creative. All right, so our dad was a Marine, and in the Marine Corps, when he would get in trouble, he would have us, whenever we got in trouble, he would have us stand against the wall with our nose to the wall, and he had these doorknobs that, I don't know why doorknobs, but they were just heavy enough for the punishment, right? So he would make us hold these glass doorknobs for forever. I mean, for forever. We would be holding these glass doorknobs with our nose on the wall, and if our arms dropped even a little bit, he'd be back there like Cullen was just saying with the belt, whooping it, whoosh, whoosh, know what I mean? Like intimidating us. And
I think that's when we got a little older too, like when he realized, okay, I really might have to put a little more effort into this whooping. Let me just put him on the wall holding some stuff as torture.
Right? Yeah, it was torture. Our arms hurt so bad. I mean, we talked about this, I know.
Somebody try that. I want to see video responses to this. If y'all
try
tweet us,
that
see
with
how
your
long
kids.
you can hold your arms up and time it.
It was a good one because we hated the wall, man. Oh,
the wall. It was called the wall.
Oh, God, we hated the wall.
Get on the wall.
So, there was other kinds of punishments for sure, but this is what I was getting at when I was trying to give him backstory. So, I don't have kids yet, but Cullen here, he's got 2 kids, and they're little. Granted, they're 3 and, a year and a half. So, they're not really at the age where I guess you would whoop them anyway. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But to each his own. But, they can get in trouble now.
There have been times, we would just say, with a little pat on the booty.
Yeah, a little pat on the booty. But
just
I'm saying,
to get their attention.
Afterwards, how do you
Has
feel?
not happened.
Like, how do you feel about it? Like, are you, because it seemed to me at the time when we were kids and we were about to get punishment, it seemed like they were, relishing in it. Like, they just loved it. Like the whole intimidating us by whipping the belt and, tying it around their hand. Do y'all enjoy the punishment at all? Like, oh, yeah, you're going to get it now.
I think a lot of it is, I hate doing it. I hate putting her in timeout even, and I get it from Katie. Sometimes she's like, so yeah, I just feel like the bad parent now because I'm the one that's always so mean to him. And I'm like, okay. And so I'll step it up next time. And then I just I might okay, I feel horrible about this. But there's days where I'm just like, oh my God.
You're getting it today.
I just, jerked her by the arm and just a little too hard, at the wrist, I've told her 500 times to stop doing something, so.
Yeah.
Just a little jerk, is even just whoa. I almost just threw her across the room and didn't even mean to. But not y'all, internet, stop.
Right? Well, here's the thing that I will give our
Don't
parents
even start
credit
jumping
for.
to conclusions.
Well, most of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, most of the time our parents would make us go sit and wait, and they would cool down from their anger because they'd be red in the face so mad at something we done.
Yes.
And they would literally go make us wait for a good. We would, in the anticipation of the belt, of the whooping coming, we would have to wait in the front bedroom. When you were told go to the front bedroom, you knew you were about to get a whooping. So you're in there pacing the room, trying to pad, take your socks off, put them under your butt. You know what I mean? You were just kind of dying, waiting for it. But I think that the reason they did that now, looking back, I know that the reason they did that is because they needed to give themselves time to cool down, or they would have really killed us.
Yeah, or hurt us severely. But
it's not good.
It's not it's parenting. I don't know. It's not it's intentional. I mean, it is intentional, but it's it's your style, your way, your everything. Oh yeah. The way that you were brought up and the way that I don't know. It's
everybody's different. We said
sure
last time, we want to hear everybody's stories. What do you
marriages
think?
were when Corey was not abused.
Right? Yeah. No. Well, it's not even abuse. Like a spanking, a whooping, and being abused are two totally different things.
Well,
Let's not blur the lines.
Right.
Here.
Well, and I think that's where the whole question comes into play is like, were they doing it to intimidate us, or were they doing it because they didn't want to? Really, you know what I mean?
I don't think that any parent wants to whoop their kids.
No,
I don't
of
think
course
they
not.
do. But I think that the idea behind it is associating something that you did with something that you know you're not going to forget. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you have memories and your most vivid ones are the bad ones, right? Are like the ones, like if you got a real good whooping, you're going to remember and you're going to go, why did I get that whooping? Oh, it's because I ate that candy and I ain't eating that candy now. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take that candy out of that jar because last time that happened, I got a whooping and that hurt and I don't want a whooping again.
And then if they start taking
That's
the
the
candy
point.
every day, it's just like if you go the other route, it's like, okay, Timmy. Sorry if your name's Timmy. Okay, Timmy, go over there and sit in the corner. Don't do that again. I know that candy was the most satisfying, delicious piece of.
It was totally worth 5 minutes in the corner.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go do it again tomorrow, and I might get 2, and I might get 3, and I might get 4. You know, and it just builds up, and then before you know it, Timmy is just. He's turned into
fat.
Tim.
He's a fatty.
he goes from Timmy to Tim. So yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
you've got to have like more. It just again, it's situational, but you have to have more. Like, I don't know what's gonna affect the outcome more.
Right.
Beneficial for the parent.
And I think a lot of it too is the personality. Like if you have a fragile child, you probably don't want to go belting them. You know what I mean? Like if they're already sensitive, you know what I mean? I think it's just like every parent knows their kid and they can judge what they can handle.
Yeah, I want to know in the comments, like what was your device of torture?
Oh yeah, there was all kinds of different kinds. You got the belt, you got the hairbrush,
switches,
the spoon.
Oh, the wooden spoon, the yardstick too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, and you get caught taking. You know, mom always had a hairbrush in her purse. You get caught taking some money out of her, a quarter or whatever out of her purse, and she'd grab that hairbrush out of there and just whoop you and pop your hand. Oh my God, you remember?
Oh, the worst was the little grab behind the forearm.
Oh, and the pinch.
Oh, the back of the bicep.
Oh, the pinch.
Oh, the little
Oh,
pinch.
the pinch.
Like, it didn't take much, and I was just like, yes, ma'am, what?
What do you want?
That was really loud.
Yeah, that was under the dinner table. That was when we had company. You know what I mean? The pinch under the table. First, you get the look, and that was the morning. The look. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then, if you were stupid enough to sit next to mom, because you were going to get in trouble at dinner time at some point.
Oh, I know, yeah.
If you were stupid enough to sit
elbows
next
on
to her,
the
you were
table.
getting pinched.
It was like she had a elbow magnet. Like,
Yeah, as soon as your elbow hit the table,
as soon as your
she
elbow hit the
pinched.
table, yeah, it was like I didn't even realize I was doing it half the time. you
Yeah,
know?
don't chew with your mouth open.
Yeah, really.
I mean, that's manners, though. That's a whole other topic. Because
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
some of it's punishment that it was just mannered. You know, we didn't even need a whooping for that. Like,
Oh, no. You're right.
like, oh, y'all took this too far. You know, this has got me thinking, though. This whole conversation has got me thinking about. I wonder what, like, you were talking about how you feel bad when you think that you might have like hurt your baby, like
Oh, yeah,
out of
totally.
anger
Yeah.
instead of like. Whereas normally you probably toss Brooks around 10 times harder than you ever would have whooped him in anger. You know what I mean, or
Right.
anything. But and you know he can handle it. It's just you feel bad because you feel like you went too far. I wonder if our mom feels about any time she has punished us or whooped us, if she felt like, oh, I went too far that time.
Yeah, we call her.
I mean, I have
Call
a
her.
caller. You think I should call her right now? Okay, she doesn't know that I'm here.
I know, but she will when she hears me though. Like she's gonna know.
Okay, I'll tell her. Well, she doesn't know we're recording. She doesn't know that we are live right now. So we're gonna get the honest, raw. Let's call mom. I mean, she's at work. She might not answer, but let's try it. Shh.
We'll have to get her in this new studio
Okay.
soon.
Let's turn this volume up so y'all can hear. Shh. Y'all pretend like you're not here.
Hey,
Hey, Mama, what are you doing?
I'm working. What are you doing?
I'm sitting over at Cullen's. We're about to do our third podcast, and yeah, so me and Cullen are sitting here like doing the outline for the podcast, and we're brainstorming about our topic, right?
Yeah.
So we decided our topic's going to be about whoopings. I was right.
Did you whoop me?
Cullen said, "Why did you whoop me?"
Well, I felt so inclined. Hold on, Brittany.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I need some good. Oh, this is the question that I really want to ask.
Sweetie, I got to call you back.
Well, can you hurry up?
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try. But
Well,
I got-
one question, real quick.
Okay.
Did you ever feel bad afterwards?
Oh heck yeah.
Oh, so you didn't enjoy beating us?
No, I always felt bad.
Okay, so that's why you
Tell her there's days where I don't. That's why I was asking.
yeah, Cullen says there's days he doesn't.
Well, it's according to how bad I beat you.
Well, I mean, it's according to does the punishment fit the crime, I think.
Well, if I'm mad, yeah, I didn't. You know, if I was mad, that would be my. I didn't want to ever punish in anger, but unfortunately, I did a lot.
Well, I mean, I just want to know, I need some more information about your feelings behind the punishment because it didn't feel good for me. I know that.
Well, no, and it didn't feel good for me, but I also knew that I knew best, and sometimes I didn't, at the end of the day, have always the right answer, but, you know, I tried to figure it out as I was going through it, because I was a baby too.
Well, you put the fear of God in us. I'll tell you that
Come
much.
to the studio Saturday.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
to the new studio Saturday. We got to film this.
We got a new studio on Saturday, and so we're going to actually talk about this with you live.
Okay.
But,
Saturday, maybe, if I'm, yeah, okay.
all right. Are you getting stuff done today?
Yes, I am. All sorts of stuff. I'm so focused I can't even talk to you.
All right. I love you. Call me back.
Okay, I love you.
Bye. Yeah, she sounded like she was about to cry.
No, she's laughing. I think she knew we were live.
Hey.
She could tell. You had that the vlogger voice on.
I forgot about that. Anyway, so, well, that makes me feel a little better. Mom said that she felt bad. She never liked punishing me. Sometimes I thought that she was getting a kick out of it.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus. Otherwise, you hear about those families where it's like, you know, there's been YouTube drama about families that are
That punish.
more abusive
Well,
than
the
not.
thing is that nowadays, and the people that are parents now, and they think that it's wrong. They think that, you know, spankings are bad, and that that should be like your last resort, if you're resort at all, or you just shouldn't do it. That it's like traumatizing for the kid. But as somebody that did get spanked because it was necessary, I think. I mean,
yeah, totally.
We were wild out.
Still got one ear on.
For somebody that did get spanked, it's like I feel like I'm not upset about it. Like I don't want to go, you know, file a lawsuit against my parents. They were doing what they thought they needed to do. And can you imagine how different it was for them compared to us?
Oh yeah, totally. Golly.
I mean, we had the stories. Dad used to tell us about the sticks and he got beat with.
Yeah, and he would. What else did he make us do? He would make us stand in the corner with our nose on it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't.
That was the worst too, because you'd just be like with your arms out, and he'd walk behind you, and if your arms dropped just a little bit, he'd whoop you. So then you get a spanking on top with your nose on the wall while your arms feel like they're 100 pounds each. This Marine punishment.
Oh yeah, golly.
I know that was crazy.
It worked though, because it made me not want to get on the wall. You know.
Right? Yeah.
God.
Well, it kind of worked.
It kind of worked.
I was going to say, I mean, I think there was one time I thought Mom was literally going to kill me. And this is when we were a little bit older. And I don't remember what I did. I know we were still in the old house. But we were down in the basement and something happened. That's where I had our ironing board. And something happened and Mom was mad. And she looked around and she grabbed the first thing that she could find. And that was a broomstick. And Cullen saw in her eyes that she was about to kill me with this broomstick. And he came up and grabbed the broomstick from her and like held it. And he's of the age where he's stronger than her now. You know, he's like a teenager. Well, not stronger, but you know, you were strong enough. And he held that broomstick, and Mom tried to get that broomstick back from him with all her might. And she just tugging and pulling and jerking and screaming. And she's so mad she could spit nails. Her whole face is red. And Cullen's holding it like with one hand, like not even hardly exerting any energy. You know, and he's just holding the broomstick like, no, Mom, don't kill her. You're going to kill her if you hit her with this broomstick.
I literally saved your life, I think.
And you did save my life. You saved my life. That's a whole other podcast. All the times we've saved each other's lives. Because I've saved yours a time or two, too. It's not just you. But so we got punished. And I think that when it comes down to my own kids, when I have them, I'll do what's necessary, you know. What I don't like is that I'm going to try not to do it in public. Because everybody's so touchy about it these days. It's like, you know, Well, you never know who you're gonna get DHR at your house if you do it at Walmart these days.
Well, that's
you know?
the thing, though, is like there's been cases and times where I've seen it happen in public, and I'm just like, more power to you. Like, if it's what you're doing, it's what you're doing. Like, you're making the scene, like, I'm just a spectator, but I can't, like, tell you no. I've seen ladies, like, just, their kid is just blood curdling, screaming in the little basket, in the front seat, and they're just walking around, just cold shoulder the whole thing, because that's just the form of parenting. Like, I'm just going to blow it off until they learn to calm down themselves. Other parents around me will know that this is what I'm doing, and it's not. I'm just going to keep going, and then eventually the kid stops, and
right. I mean,
they learn like you don't get attention for that.
Right. Yeah, you don't get attention for it. There's all these different parenting methods and styles and stuff like that, and I get that. And to each his own, like I said. And the whole whooping thing is really just, it is kind of outdated, I guess. It's not like that's ever going to be, when I do have kids, my first reaction is to beat them. You know what I mean? But, like, I get it when you're probably with a bunch of kids and you're at your wits' end and, they just won't stop and listen. Sometimes the fear of God and putting your hand on them is going to make them stop and listen,
Oh, remember Dad did the inch whipping? Like, he'd roll his belt up around his hand.
God, that was the worst, too.
And it was just like one of those, like, speed, like, oh, my gosh.
Oh, God. Dude, this is what
like
happened.
Getting eaten by little ants. Just, whoa, ow, what?
We had the craziest house. We had this big laundry room with a laundry chute. Anybody else out there have a laundry chute? So we would, it was fun for us.
That thing.
I did too. I wish we still had one, but we would hide in it when we were playing hide and seek. I mean, it was very cool. But you got to you open a little door in the bathroom and throw your laundry down from upstairs, and it would land downstairs in the laundry room into this pile of clothes, and that's where you did your laundry out of. Well, we had in the laundry room on the wall, we had some nails in the on the wall somewhere, and it had belts hanging. That's where we hung the belts.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You remember that? So then our dad, and this laundry room's right next to the basement den where my dad would go and sit in his recliner and drink his beer and watch his TV, right?
It was like a laundry chute closet. Like, he converted it.
Yeah, so you converted it. So then he'd say, well, go pick a belt. When we were in trouble, he'd say, go pick a belt. I don't want to pick a belt. I don't want to pick any belt. I don't want a whooping,
Get the one that you'd start, he'd like really put your, physics to test there, because it's like, okay, if I get this one, it'll float a little bit slower.
You have like the little cloth ones, like the fabric
but
belt.
Man, those hurt worse than the other ones sometimes. It was just like the way
And then you have the leather belt. And then you got the real heavy. And if you really want to be a smart ass, you'll take them to like the heaviest belt, the biggest one with the big buckle on it. And just be here, whoop me. You know what I mean? Whoop me, mother. But we only did that. Yeah, we only did that once, I think.
And then it's like you get your hand like almost bitten off
every time
by the belt, but so you start screaming about that, and they don't care. They just keep going. They're like, "Well, don't put your hand there," and it's just like.
Yeah.
Well, it's my human nature reaction to save my ass if it's getting bit, and hit. It's like, no, I'm not going to just stand there. Like, are you crazy?
I think the whole thing was like, go pick a belt, and if you don't pick the one I would have picked, then you're going to get whooped twice. I mean, it was something like that. It was something like, well, we'd bring him back the cloth, like, girl belt that's like, a half-inch thick, like, or... You know what I mean? Like wide.
Like a scarf.
Like a scarf belt. And we'd come in there with that, and he'd just laugh at us, and then he'd whoop us with that one, and then go pick a different belt to whoop us with, So you couldn't win.
Yeah, there was no winning to it at all.
I think the more trouble you were in, the more turns around the belt you got, though, because the littler that belt got, the harder it hurt.
Yeah.
It stung, boy, when it was little.
And that was the thing, I think, too. Didn't they, like, come up with a number, like, based on the punishment?
Yeah,
at one point, it was like you knew you were getting 3 licks.
Yeah, I told you not to eat that Swiss cake roll, and that was worth 2. Yeah.
And so that was even worse, too. It's like not only having to wait on it, but then knowing how many you have. Because when you get to 2 and you only got 1 left, you're like, dear God, make it harder every time.
Hey, Dad was real big on risk versus reward, You knew the risk. It was worth 5 licks. And you did it anyway,
Man, that's the thing is like give up 5 minutes sitting in the corner with Timmy, or
Yeah.
Get 5 licks, and after each one it's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't spread it out. Sometimes he would. He'd spread it out, like one up high, one down low.
This is like a real part of our lives, though, because we got in a lot of
crazy.
trouble.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we would literally, there was so many times we would come up with ways to trick them with the whooping. You know what I mean? We would put books behind us in our pants. Well, that just gets you whooped more.
Oh, yeah, and just trying to get away, jumping over the bed.
Yeah.
And then just for somersaults.
We'd be hiding in the corner like they don't know we're in there. I mean, they're going to find you. We're hiding under the bed in the corner.
I would
of the room.
back up into the corner sometimes just to
Yeah.
You're not going to hit my front,
Then at some point, I think we wised up and realized the harder you cry and scream and pretend like you're just in complete agony, even though it doesn't hurt as bad, like it doesn't even hurt that bad. But if you pretend like it hurts so bad and you're just in agony, then they let up.
They knew though. Like there was times where mom knew
You're
it.
faking it. Well,
Yeah, it was
give me something to cry about.
She would just it would make her even more mad in some cases.
Who'd you rather get a whooping from, mom or dad?
Mom. Because
She's weak.
she'd have a weak arm one day, a couple of days out of the week. Dad, he did, and you didn't know if he had a bad day at work either. So it was
I think mine was dad because I don't know, Dad.
It was like me with Gaines. Like he feels bad.
Yeah, and I was his daughter, right? So I imagine with you, it probably wasn't as bad. It was probably worse with Dad than it was with Mom. But with me, it's like I'm his daughter, and then it's like he said, "Okay, 3 licks, that was it." Mom get to licking, and she just couldn't stop it. She just be like, "Woo, woo, woo." Baby, it's like, "Mom, you said 3 licks, 3. You're at 12, you know." And
she would get on a roll.
I mean, right? She never stopped. I mean, like, Dad,
that
go.
rhythm too.
And,
Totally loses count.
And then the worst was waiting in line.
Oh, gosh.
When it was all of us. You had to stand outside listening to the screaming.
Oh, knowing yours was coming next.
I mean,
and then she was like, send out the surrender, like send out the injury. It was like, I don't want to be limping down the field next time we're playing this game.
You definitely don't want to be first, though, because then they're wore out by the time they get to you. If you're third, you were in good shape. I'm telling you, if you were third, you were in good shape. I feel like we would take turns.
We would alternate high to low.
We'd have to say we play paper, rock, scissors. See who goes first this time. I mean,
and if the longer we took and we couldn't decide, they decide for you.
They decide for you, buddy, and you don't want them doing that ever.
Oh my God, then you didn't know who it, because then even more bad. But no, it's so crazy though, because I really find myself thinking okay, at what age can I start these whippings with Brooks?
When is it going to be okay?
It's because he's just like me. He's hard-headed. So it's you have to exert a little more force with your voice, and you have to be a little, at least for me, and there's that whole controversy too of first kid versus second kid, and the
right,
the
who gets it the worst, and it's by the last kid, they're everybody's all lax, I think.
But the second kid learns so much faster, it seems, based on their Yeah,
because they got an older sibling going, hey, don't do that. You don't want to do that.
Right, and so it's just oh my God, he literally does not listen. He's getting better, but there's days where it's just I've got to just pop him on the booty one time to get his attention, and she's spitting slime at me. I've been playing with this aromatherapy.
We're both ADD. We should have been diagnosed ADD when we were a very, very young.
Time. That's a whole nother podcast.
That is a whole nother podcast. We can go on and on about that one.
Oh my God, we survived. We're here. That's what's crazy. I don't even know how long we've been rolling. Do you?
No, I didn't.
I totally forgot. This is probably an hour. I don't know.
No, we'll see when we called Mom. Or when I called you, I think.
That was when we started.
Yeah, because I was looking for you.
Look at that deductive reasoning. We could have watched this podcast back.
Deductive reasoning. Look at those big words, Cullen. Dadgummit, I just called you again, so now I canceled out the last 12:40. I think 12:40.
Let me see.
Anyway, we're getting there. We're just moving right along here, folks. Listen, I am so excited about doing these podcasts. I'm so excited that we get to talk about these traumatizing things. It's like therapy. You know what I mean? It's therapeutic to talk about those whoopings that we got.
Yes.
But here's the thing. If my husband, he didn't get whooped. And he was telling me today, he said, I'm going to come on there and show you what a perfectly good example is of somebody that didn't get whooped, because I never got whoopings. And he turned out, okay.
Well, and we honestly, as parents,
y'all will meet him later. He's in that job, but yeah.
Honestly, as parents, though, we, it's like, I want to raise my kid with respect and, these manners without having to whip them, obviously. Like, that's your first, thought and goal is, you just want to, no, Timmy, you are that at first. And then it's just, the repetitive and realizing they have to fit in society and survive and, no rules are rules,
Yeah, and you got to think what punishment you have to, as a parent, you have to decide what punishment fits what crime. You know what I'm saying? You can't be whooping them because they picked up a piece of candy. They're a kid. They want that piece of candy. Right. You know what I mean? I agree with that. But at the same time, the manners thing, that's something that some kids these days, they just don't have it, And I feel and I look at those kids and I'm like, you need a whooping.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you this much, and this is maybe just because this is how we were brought up, but if we didn't say ma'am or sir,
oh yeah,
whooping.
Yeah.
If we didn't, if Dad said jump and we didn't say how high, sir, whooping. If we, didn't have our elbows on the table, pinch, whooping, something. If punishment, punishment. That's how you fall in line with what is expected of you. You can't. Some of these kids run around here today like heathens, just cussing their mamas out. 5-year-olds cussing their mamas out. No, sir. That's how you get whooped.
Yeah, really.
So when I become a parent, and Corey might disagree with me, this is another thing. We could literally talk about this topic forever, because what do you do when you come from a background where whoopings was a norm because it kept you in line, and that's how you want to discipline your children, or that you see yourself doing that. You of course never want to even have to do that, but if it comes down to it.
Right.
And it's either whooping or not whooping, and I say whooping, and Corey says no whooping.
Well, and there's been times.
Then what?
There's been times in our marriage where it's just and I'm sure in everybody's that it's okay. I've said to Katie, she said it to me. Whatever you're doing isn't working.
Yeah, it isn't working.
When it causes a fight between spouses or husband and wife,
yeah, then
that there's something else that has to happen to relieve y'all from any type of
Yeah,
it helps the relationship so you can parent better. So
right.
It's just
well, you have to definitely be on the same accord, I think, when it comes to stuff like that, punishment and whatever. But you also want to be on the same accord when it comes to what you think, what kind of manners you want your children to have. When you're out in public with your kids, Lord knows we ran amok. It was your hands were on the buggy. And me and Cullen be running through. Y'all ever go to Macy's or to Penny's and your parents can't find you because you're inside the little roundabout coat hanger thing? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You're in the clothes playing hide and go seek and giggling, and you're about to get a whooping when you get home because you left the car. You left the buggy. Don't leave the buggy. So, there's lots of stuff that I think deserves it and stuff that doesn't.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's all parental preference.
Parental preference. Yeah. So y'all tell us what your parental preference is. We want to know, what do y'all think, and how do you think that you can, for me, how do you navigate through getting spankings or giving spankings and not giving spankings as adults, as parents? What does Katie? Well, how does Katie feel about it? Your wife?
I mean, it's the same way. It's you evolve together as parents, I think. So it's at some point, a little pop on the booty, it's kind of whatever we're doing isn't working.
We got to do something more, yeah.
And then, even just yelling at them or talking a certain way to them, it's I got to stop doing that because they'll learn that,
Right.
And so you're constantly having to change and adjust and play defense.
Right.
And try to figure out what's not working to raise your kids.
Yeah.
And take what you already know. So it's
right. I think everybody kind of takes bits and pieces of what their parents did and applies them in their life when they're parents, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because that's the example you have to go on. I will tell you this: when we were teenagers, we didn't get in a lot of trouble. I mean, I think they just didn't know what to do with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you? Well, you stole the car at 13. How do I even punish you for that? You're too big to spank. And
I've put you in timeout, and you get out way early.
Grounding. They're going to find a way. We were clever.
Well, and like
take away the Game Boy, we'll get it back.
Either that, or like we'll have to like go do something that would like negate the whole punishment. You know, it's like, oh, well, I have to go. You like, don't leave your room for 2 hours. Well, you got to go to dive practice or something. And then by the time you get back,
yeah, we forgot about it.
They forgot about the 2-day ground, you know, or whatever. And then you're just out, just chilling with them, eating popcorn.
Right? Yeah, it's like that's past. You know, I think we just wore them down. Yeah. By the time we were teenagers, I think they were just exhausted. They were like, whatever, do what you want.
Yes.
We don't even care anymore. So
I mean, it had to be kind of severe for sure to like get their attention. You know, like
yeah. Well, I don't know. I got there was one time I was talking to my friend about this the other day. We were supposed to stay at each other's houses. Y'all know, you've all done it. The whole, hey, Mom, I'm staying at Taylor's. Hey, Taylor's mom, we're staying at Brittany's. We actually snuck into the house so we could call because caller ID had come out by then. Do you remember? Oh, and then Cullen was the one that got me in trouble. He answers the phone when her mom calls and said, Taylor's not here. Oh, I mean, they're out getting ice cream. Like, he like tried to cover it up.
Totally oblivious.
But anyway, we got busted. We were not at each other's houses like we were supposed to be. And we got busted, and she got in, like, major trouble. She had, I don't know if y'all ever heard of a CHINS report. It's Children in Need of Supervision. That's like where your child is so bad. Yeah, you get the court involved. Whoa. That's how bad, like, Taylor was. Not really. We were the same.
The mom wanted to do it legally.
Right. She was, yeah.
Are we out of memory again?
I don't know. But anyway, so we got in, like, so much trouble. Or she did. And the next day, my parents leave. And I'm like, oh, man, my parents are gone. Like, they've been gone all day. They're like, they must be so mad. They must be so mad that they can't even be in the same house with us. Like, me, Cullen, and Annie were all going like, oh, Cullen and Annie are like, man, Brittany, you really screwed up. Like, you screwed up real bad because our parents have been gone all day. Next thing you know, they come down the driveway with 2 brand new cars. One for me, one for Annie. Said, here's the keys. Get the hell out.
Right.
Leave us alone. God. We can't take you anymore.
We will go over this learning curve too. We're blowing up over here. What's going on?
Well,
People
it's time. I think it's time. I think it's time, yeah. Oh, man. Well, I could just go on for days about this.
I hate putting a time on the listeners and the viewers, but like...
Yeah, well, y'all don't want to hear us all day.
We got to go make sure our kids aren't getting in trouble.
Right? Got to go whoop our kids. No. Y'all, this has been super fun. I can't wait to hear. I know that we gave out our email last time, and we're going to do that again.
We're going to read some stories. Got to get a few more in.
Yeah, we got to get some more stories in. We definitely want to have our mom on, so we're going to do that probably this weekend. And we would love to read some of y'all's stories with Granberry, with our mom. We call her Granberry.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, she said we can't because she's,
she needs something to do. Like she can't just sit here and talk. Well, she can, but like
she can sit here and talk all day.
She's gonna Yeah, but she'll feel like she has to be on as opposed to just chilling.
Yeah, we're gonna put her in
and talking.
Yeah, we're gonna put her in the guest room and at our set here and let her just chill
see more of that.
Yeah, we're gonna get
next podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna start reading off some stories. Y'all, so send them in at don'ttellmompodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, link below.
Is it
the
okay? The Don't Tell Mom Podcast@gmail.com. Okay, link below and check us out on if you're not already checking us out on YouTube. Please do. We're putting these vlogs up, a couple hours after the podcast goes live. So y'all check us out every Tuesday.
We're on Spotify now too.
Oh, I saw that email.
Yeah. So
score.
Boom. Get it on iTunes. Get it on Spotify.
Yeah, you can do it on an Android, your iPhone, anything.
There's like
y'all
10
can
different platforms. So.
Yeah, we're excited. And throw out some good topics for next week. I mean, we have a ton that we've already kind of wrote down, but we'd love to hear from y'all. What do y'all want to hear from us? Give us some topics. Yeah, give us some topics. We're really excited about hearing y'all's Don't Tell Mom stories, so make sure you send those in. And, go and follow us on Instagram.
That's my heart beating, waiting on a whooping.
Waiting on a whooping. Tell us about your whoopings. Tell us how you turned out. And we'll see you guys next week, right? Is
next
that it?
Podcast. Let's do this.
Yeah.
With Granberry.
With Granberry next week. We're so excited. All right. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. And we'll see you next week.
Peace. Oh, we need a jingle.
Hey, y'all. Send in jingles.
Okay, bye.